Howdy folks, this is a sister video of sorts to my video from last week where we looked at the new Call of Duty Cold War single player campaign. Today we are going to look at one of the multiplayer aspects. If you would like to watch the first video, you can find a link above my head somewhere. Go take a look, after you've watched this one of course. This week, as I said, we are going to take a look at one of Call of Duty's multiplayer modes, not this endless array of overpowered MP5s and sniper rifles, that's a hot mess. We are going to take a look at the cooperative horde-style Zombies mode. Gotta be honest folks, I am an extremely hyped princess for this one. I have always wanted to take a look at one of the Zombies modes and I've never really gone in depth before on them. Let's jump in. Okay, so, first off, there's a story going on here and I will be absolutely damned if I can tell you what it is. I found a YouTube video explaining what the story was of the previous zombie modes and I'm going to link it in the description. Quick caveat, I don't know any of the guy's other work or anything, I just know that this video is pretty good, so beware if you are taking a look at the rest of his channel, I don't know what the content's like. The story seems to me to be Inception levels of complex, but what amounts to put the bullet in the zombie anyway. But yeah, there's a story. I wasn't expecting that. A little bit like none of you were expecting to see Ed Sheeran as an extra in Game of Thrones. That's right, I got you all again. So before we go any further, I will just quickly explain what Zombies mode is. It is a horde style mode. That means that you are fighting against multiple waves of zombies with 4 other players cooperatively. And you can buy upgrades and that kind of thing for the weapon as you go, but they only last for that one match. Essentially, every zombie you kill has a dollar amount assigned to it, depending on how you kill it, and you can earn them for a few other things, like building back up the barriers to control where the enemies come in from and form choke points. In addition to spending your hard-earned cash on better guns, you can also use it to open locked doors, turn on power to different areas, and generally to expand the map. You know, I never tried this actually, but I'm curious as to how far you'd get if you didn't expand the map at all, because it starts off really tiny. I wonder how many waves of zombies you could get through before having to actually open one of the doors and go get an upgrade. Anyway. This does lead to a problem though, and it's one that's totally outside of the control of the game itself. The quality of your experience is entirely going to be based on the company you keep. Yes, future Ayana, I know it's a multiplayer game, there is no need for you to point that out. In this particular case though, it's a little bit worse, because you only have the one resource that does everything. It's one thing to be in a group of friends and be underpowered a few waves in because you were the one opening the doors and completing map objectives, and another one entirely to be the one doing that with a group who don't know you and then totally ignore you when you die and they could have easily resurrected you. That just isn't a fun experience. Nor is everyone hanging around waiting to see who's going to be the one that spends their hard-earned money opening the door to expand the map, as opposed to waiting to buy the upgrades on the other side. Now, as I say, it's not the game's fault, and I don't have a solution for it either, really. Obviously playing with a squad of friends is much better. I don't play enough online games to really have an online squad of friends in that way though. I mean, this is the first online game I've reviewed in about a year, so yeah. I am poly though, and I do have enough partners to form a badass group of zombie slayers. Future Ayana, make some phone calls. Back to the positive, the minute-to-minute combat in zombie mode is actually a lot more satisfying than the main campaign in God of War. Feels a lot more visceral, largely because only a few zombies have ranged attacks and the rest have got to get right up close. They do pack a wallop as soon as they're close enough though, and honestly, whether it was just a little lag or depth perception issues that I have, I wasn't always sure when they were in melee range. A better content creator would have a joke here about how zombies in the rearview mirror appear closer than they are, but I just spent 5 minutes workshopping it and the best I've got is zombies in this review appear closer than they are. I apologise to all of you for putting that in your ears. Something I'm told wasn't in zombie modes previously is the fact that you share your XP here with other multiplayer modes, meaning you can increase the weapons you have available for your loadout in competitive multiplayer by playing the zombie mode. That's kinda cool, and I didn't expect it. So I think there is a double XP event going on right now, which will change this a little bit, but I seem to be getting about a level of experience per doing one 20-round zombie match, which is kinda cool, because that's way faster than it goes in multiplayer. I don't mind the mingling of the multiplayer competitive stuff, even though I'm not a huge fan of that, as I said, and the multiplayer cooperative stuff, but I don't want to see the two getting their DLC mixed together as a result of it, which is going to be all important, because there is currently only one map for zombie mode, which is a surprise honestly. I'm told there were 4 in the last one. It's big enough, it's very replayable, but it kind of feels like they lack faith in the mode. That said, they've announced DLC, and I would pay a few bucks for more maps, but again, I do have this nasty feeling they are going to get lumped in with other multiplayer map modes in some sort of pack, and I am going to end up paying for maps I don't want, which would suck. Word of advice to devs, I will quite happily pay for additional content if you don't make me pay for content I don't want. Now, I am being a little bit unfair here. There is another mode called Dead Ops Arcade Mode, which plays a little bit like the top-down SNES classic Smash TV. I don't really consider it part of Zombies mode. It feels nothing like anything else that's going on here. It's just a little bit of fun. Kind of forgettable, but I'm not really going to cover it in the scope of this review. Same for the PlayStation exclusive mode. I haven't played it, I'm playing this on PC, so I can't give you any impressions of it, I'm afraid. The only other thing that interrupts the fun in Zombies, and to be clear, the mode is super fun and absolutely something I am playing more of probably as soon as I finish recording, the death penalty. If you die, you lose all of your upgrades and any weapons you purchased, and their upgrades. You get given some cash to start over, but bear in mind the upgrades are on the map that is now swarming, likely with tougher zombies if you just died. Now, if your squad happens to be down near the better upgrades, or you have someone willing to escort you, not much of an issue. If you take a death on anything above about wave 15 of 20, be prepared to be the weak leg of the team until the map is over. Adds to the feeling of tension that there is this penalty for death, but I would have preferred something that was steep rather than vertical. And yes, before anyone mentions it, there is a moment where you are downed before you die, where your squad mates can resurrect you, which is great, again, if people are playing as a team. If everyone ignores you, it's still very frustrating. So there we have it, folks. Tiny bit of a shorter video this week, I know, but I strongly recommend Zombies mode. I will say it's getting a little bit harder to find a game right now. It's starting to die down a little bit, probably to do with the fact that there's only one map. So if you want to jump in, either I'd say jump in right now or wait until they release some of the DLC maps and jump in then. Again, I really hope that we're going to get those maps available on their own, not lumped into a multiplayer pack with stuff I don't want. But strongly recommend. It is totally different to the rest of Call of Duty, but well worth it, and the minute-to-minute gameplay is just so fun. Speaking of totally different, I've got segues. Next week we will be taking a look at something completely different. We will take a look at Hyrule Warriors 2 Age of Calamity. I will see you all then, folks. I have been Chaotic Ayana. Peace. I'm out.